the defense.
Welcome to Split the Defense, Leafs post-game, presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving Kingston and the surrounding area since 2004. I'm Webby with CP and producer Ted rocking in the booth as per usual. Thumbs up this episode for us, subscribe to our YouTube, leave us a comment, and catch us in podcast form anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, first ever meeting against Utah, first ever win against Utah. Leafs are now 7-1 without Matthews. No Matthews, no problem. Leafs win 3-2. And, you know, I had doubts at the beginning. I love to say there was never any doubt. They did look like they dominated this one pretty well. Things seemed to be coming together, and it was basically a Marley team.
Yeah, 7 of the 7 regulars out of the lineup tonight. You just keep seeing them dwindling and dwindling. I didn't think that the first period was awesome. They came out a little sleepy, but second period was awesome. And then kind of took them again a couple minutes to get into the third. But then after that, the forecheck tonight was really working. And it was I was a little nervous coming into the first period. You know, you get 10 minutes in and you see that like a little sleepy team, and you just think that this is one of those scheduled losses. Sunday night against Utah, first time seeing them. And like with missing so many of your regulars, you could see this being, you know, we've been on a good run, but could be one of those games. But yeah, they kind of pulled it together in the second and brought it home. So
I mean, maybe for the small stretches, but I really didn't see a sleepy team tonight. I felt like they even when they weren't scoring, even when they got scored on first, I was thinking like I can still see the effort. It's not from a lack of trying. Like they're still pushing. They came out. They're still tight. Like they look good. Like they look good. They just weren't capitalizing, and it came through in the second period, hard, and it came through in the form of Mitch Marner. He's got to be the first star, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he's the first star of the last week or so. I mean he's been amazing. Mitch Marner's just been able to control not every minute he's out there, but for the most part, you can just see that he's very confident, moving his feet, controlling the puck. He making a lot of plays and very willing to shoot now that Matthews isn't in the lineup. So yeah, I just have loved what I've seen from him for sure.
Absolutely. Scored a beauty breakaway goal tonight. Just beauty. Sent pass, I don't know, 150 feet up the ice on a Marner's stick, and he buried it. And like you said, that shot, that confidence, that dog in him is just coming out without Austin Matthews. He has no problem putting this team on his back. And like it's almost like it's ridiculous how he's better. He looks better without Matthews. It's ridiculous how much better he looks. And like it's not even like when we separated them in the past, he looked this good. But like maybe has Mitch Marner just taken a step? Like you got to be lucky to be good. You got to be good to be lucky. That second goal was amazing. That heads up, just throw it to the net. Like not pass it, but throw it on net. Has Mitch Marner taken a step here? He's really been delivering in these big moments.
Yeah, I think also like Mitch Marner always takes a little bit to warm up into a season, and we're probably into the consistently the best like games of his career is always like between 20 and 60. And so he's warmed up. He's feeling good. And it is like, I've always liked how he plays with Tavares because he does have to take a bit of a more of a controlling step, and he takes a little bit more on his shoulders. So I did like what he brought. I also like Justin Miller brought up the Willie had a big impact tonight. Like I do like Willie was kind of his consistent self where he shows up in big moments to make big plays, and then also has some moments where, you know, a little bit less consistent play, but he has also been a big part of this team playing well. You know, he's very impactful when he's out there, and he scored tonight as well. So.
Yeah, Nylander scored his 14th goal, which was actually his 231st career goal, and that puts him past Ted Kennedy in a sole position of 11th on the franchise's all-time goal register. Ooh, wow. He's going to be top 10 Leafs all-time goals scored before he's done here. For sure. Just where in that top 10 does he land? Definitely going to. But yeah, my last points on Mitch Marner there was 14 points in 8 games without Matthews. 7 of these games have been multi-point games. The man is just on fire. Like he looks ridiculously good. I honestly can't wait to see what happens when we get NHL forwards back, because we had guys like Alex Nylander making his debut tonight. What did you think of Nylander squared, and more particularly Alex?
Yeah, I thought that Alex was okay. He was kind of what I expected him to be. I think a guy that knows how to play NHL hockey, but he's not necessarily outstanding. Made a few nice plays, but also bobbled the puck a few times as well. So I think he didn't jump off. Like there was other younger players that I thought jumped off the page more than he did. But yeah, he kind of did all that he needed to, I would say. To not feel like he was felt out of place or anything.
I thought he played a pretty great game. I like that he took a few chances. He had a great few shots. He is not afraid to handle the puck. He did bobble it a few times, but I think that would come more. It's a faster paced game, right? He's been playing AHL for a little while. I think he's had an extra half a second to make those plays and be a different player for the last few weeks. And I'm sure that would come with time. But I thought he looked good, and he had a couple of opportunities that could have went in. But talking about other younger players, we cannot go through the rest of this episode without speaking about Nikita Grabenkin.
Yeah. What a guy.
Man, this guy skates like a T-Rex, but he absolutely, like a T-Rex would run. Like, I have no idea even how to describe it. He's got the absolute
I understood.
But he is one hell of a player. And, he's thrown himself into the boards. Like, he's such a mess the way that he digs to the puck, but boy, does that guy work. And I love that he's winning a lot of these puck battles. He's making things move forward, not necessarily jeopardizing playing this scrappy, scary style of game. What do you think of Nikita Grabenkin?
I mean, first of all, I love every time he steps up to a mic, because it's just, you get a viral moment every single time. The guy is hilarious. So, but yeah, I love what he brings on the ice too. Like forecheck, back check, paycheck, buddy. That's what his motto, and he's really cashing in on that. So I think that's also a guy that Berube's just gonna love. Like a real funny, good locker room guy, but also just brings it on the ice. So. Yeah, I love him. I think it's just so easy now to say, like, see a Ryan Reeves. It's just, I love having a guy like that in the lineup. It's just energy, he's gonna bring it every shift. It might look a little messy, and even just every part of him is just a little bit crazy, but I really like it. And there is a bunch of skill there too. Like he's a guy that could put it in the net. He's got a little bit of hands to him, so I really like him. Yeah.
He needs some time with Barb Underhill. Work on that stride a little
definitely.
bit. If he could get skating better, he would be scary. But yeah, he's definitely got it in him, and it's funny how he's made it this far skating like I do. It's just like amazing. Like it's just, I love it.
Yeah,
like,
for
I
sure.
love it. Absolutely.
And what a guy too to be like, isn't he like a 5th or 6th round draft pick? To make like
Was
so
it that
much,
far?
to make so many strides like in the last 2 years to make it to the NHL and look like he belongs, and especially when there's so many things he can still improve on. Yeah, I'm very happy with him. Like, and those are the depth guys that you need to find. Like he's not making a lot of money, but he's really making an impact on a game. Like that's what you need. So.
Yeah, 100%. Love me some Nikita Grabenkin and the impact off the ice with the quotes and the locker room stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just gold.
So both goals were tipped in tonight by Utah. Both goals scored.
Yeah.
Joseph Woll didn't let a clean one past him. We can start on 2 topics on that one. Joseph Woll did make 23 saves. What did you think of his night?
He made a couple really nice saves, and I think that whenever one is tipped in, like you don't want to see like every tip to go by a goalie, but you can give him a little bit of a grace, especially when like one's such a, like he's preparing for a shot and it's like a wide shot that goes off someone's shin pad and in. Those are tough, but yeah, I think he's kind of settling in and bringing what he kind of we're used to, and I've really liked him. I do still get scared like when he makes a big stretching save with doing the splits. It's like, well, is this going to be 2 to 4 weeks from Joseph Woll here? Or I mean, it's going to take a while to get over that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I do have the same feelings, and I'm just not as confident when shots are coming in from the point with him as I am with Stolarz for some reason. I still feel like there's a little bit lingering there. Like he still does seem to have that look behind him, not quite know where the puck is as often, not quite be as composed. But he did play a good game tonight. But I'd like to point out that both goals were tipped in tonight. So he really didn't let a clean one past him. He had a hell of a night.
Mhm.
How much do you put on the defense for not playing strong enough in front of the net, and how much do you put on it's a tip and that's just hockey and hats off to the offense?
Yeah, like the one in particular, OEL like kind of lost his position, and those things are going to happen. It's never going to be perfect. I think the defense like has been pretty good. I mean, there was a shutout last game, so yeah, I think the defense has been awesome. So I just think until we see more from Wall and like that he's going to make all of the saves you need him to make, I'm still always going to feel more comfortable with Stolarz in the net. It's just, it is what it is until further notice. But I do feel great that, you have two goalies that can perform at like as well as you can expect from a goalie. Even on the other end with Vejmelka, he played so well tonight. And I felt like there was no excuse for no one could put it on the goalies tonight. It was all about the players in front. The goalies brought it on both ends, and yeah, they won the forward, or yeah, the players won the games tonight. But yeah, both goalies tonight I thought like played as well as you could ask from a goalie.
Miller says Wall did his best Stolarz impression dropping his stick, and I love that comment so much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you drop your stick like 5 times in a game, you're that's going to be your thing.
That's
for
who
a
you
while.
are now. Yeah, you're just that guy.
Yeah,
you've earned it.
I mean, he dropped like his glove as well. So I mean, that guy he's got butterfingers. Shouldn't have had that popcorn.
Yeah, I should not have had that popcorn.
Yeah,
Nick Robertson, man. What more do we have to say about Nick Robertson? Like tonight, we can talk specifically tonight.
Yep.
He played his ass off again. He looks
Yep.
like he's trying. He hit a couple of posts, and I'd still say he still doesn't look too effective. How do you feel?
I felt like he played fairly well. He was really good on the forecheck. And if you were gonna just bunch him in with the young players, I thought like he looks decent. If you're gonna consider him like an NHL player, then it's like you maybe want a little more from him. So who is this guy? I'm just not sure. But yeah, it's just if both of those go in tonight, we're just having such a different conversation. But he just seems to not be able to get it done. And I feel so bad for him because I know that what's the difference between missing by an inch and missing by a foot, but there's something to it. It's he beat the goalie and it was close, and the goalie's gonna say that he's not protecting the post, protecting the net. But yeah, I just wish one of them would go in, and then maybe you could get just like a bit of a landslide of production from him. But I didn't hate his game tonight.
And that's it. It's not the fact that it's a foot or an inch and that it was super close. It's the fact that you just need one to go in. It doesn't matter at all because you need that domino effect to happen. If he'd have got 2 tonight, he'd have probably scored again next game, right? And the waterfall the floodgates would have opened, just like Bertuzzi last year. Right? He had a go like that, and he's a legit NHLer. And it happens to these guys. I mean, although he hasn't scored very well this year at all. Point is, and neither is Max Domi. That's a totally different subject. Thankfully, he's on the sidelines right now. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But the point is that if Nick Robertson wants to be Nick Robertson of the NHL of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's got to put them in the net. And we need goals like the ones tonight. We're like, man, how much do you think that one, the one where he back for, I can't even think this is probably his first post opportunity. That should have went in. But I think it was more mental. I think 9 times out of 10 that would have went in for him. But it was mental. He panicked. He went too quickly, and it didn't work out his way. He's just it's not the yips, but it's goddamn close, buddy.
Man, I was gonna say the yips are a real thing, and I think he's got them. Just like Domi did, and it's just no matter what you do, things don't go your way, and he just needs to dig in, keep doing the other things if he wants to become an NHLer at all. Be great on the forecheck, and I mean he's drawing some of the most penalties in the league. I don't know if you know that, but he's not very happy about it because he thinks it's just because he's small. But I mean, it's a thing. If he was a bigger guy and that was a stat, you'd be proud of it. There you go. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that is like something that a guy can bring. And that's only going to last so long. Like if you play a couple seasons, like I feel like the refs just look at the who draws the most penalties and then they just stop calling penalties for those guys. But I mean, when you get cross checked and, 6'1" guy is cross checking, I don't know, whatever Robertson is, 5'9" or something, like you're going to go down more often. But, that's something. So as long as he's bringing those, like he's not a negative to the lineup currently, I don't think so. Yeah,
Still leaves more to be desired, though.
always, yeah.
So I do want to talk about that, but I don't. It's so no Matthew Nice, no Matthew Nice in this game. And why was there
Oh,
no
we're gonna do this.
Matthew
Yeah.
Nice, CP?
Okay. Pardon? Say that again. Sorry.
Why was there no Matthew Nice?
Yeah, Matthew Nice definitely. He got hit in the head. That's not my
Okay.
total opinion here, but he was. Yep, got hit in the head, and he's gonna be out for a little bit. Yeah. Do you want my full opinion on it? Because
I think he might as well go down this
Yeah.
road. I think it's what we're being asked.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, the Reeves one, if we just we can knock that one out quickly. Yeah, total, check to the head. The 5 games I thought was a little bit much, but it's Ryan Reeves and it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, so I thought like 3 or 4 games turned into 4 or 5, and so yeah, I'm not too upset about it, and also it's a guy that I don't miss on the team. So
And intentional or not, he still cleaned his fucking clock.
cleaned his clock.
You trip and fall and trip somebody with the puck, that's still a penalty. It's the same idea in this situation, intentional or not. That's the
He
way it
definitely
worked
didn't
out.
mean to, I don't think, because you see like the regret in his eyes immediately. Reeves feels sorry like very quickly. He tries to apologize after between like when he's getting thrown out. It doesn't go over very well, but and obviously Darnell Nurse didn't like it because he said like the next day he made a comment about Reeves being dirty. But I don't think there was any ill intent there other than just trying to lay a really big impactful hit, and he's slow and he missed. I feel like Reeves 2 years ago, he probably lays that check perfectly fine, but he's kind of trying to really guess
Step
there.
behind now.
Yeah, his feet are just too slow to make quick adjustments, and total penalty. The other one, I don't think there's much controversy there. Like I feel like a lot of Leaf fans just kind of agree there that it was a illegal hit to the head. The second one,
You
though,
think it was an illegal hit to the head? You think that's what
The
it was,
Reeves
an
one?
illegal hit to the head? Yeah, I thought you meant the second one.
no, sorry, yeah,
The
no,
Nice
I'm
one.
just saying like the Reeves one. I think there's no really controversy there. Second one. So you watch that play, and I watch it 10 times on the replay like everyone else, and it's like, wow, he got his head was definitely hit. I'm pretty sure White Cloud left his feet. Like he's out of here, no question. We can now debate like afterwards how many games this is going to be. Then it's no penalty at all, and it's just like quick reaction, like what the hell? Like that's like what are these refs talking about? The intermission, like I didn't hear it right away, but apparently they're totally like that's not a penalty, blah blah blah. And then everything changes the moment the NHL releases the video of like explaining why that isn't a legal check to the head, and I totally get it. There's no controversy about whether he got hit to the head. That's not part of it. It's whether that was the main point of
Principal
contact
point of contact.
and the main proof, because like it's hard to judge. Like I'm in my mind, it's thinking like it looks like it's to his hands and then to his head, and that's principle to me. But when you watch how it has more to do with how the head reacts according to the body, and both Nice's head and body react simultaneously and go backwards. Versus watching the one on Nurse where Nurse's head almost hits the boards before his shoulders move at all. So there's a total clear difference
so
to me.
bad.
I know, but like there's a total clear difference to
guy.
me right there. And so then it's like, perfect. Okay. We know what the rules are, and I love big hits in the game, so I'm okay with it being in. It sucks for Nyes because you feel like he's Superman and he can't be hurt. He's just kind of trucked so many guys, but you skate with your head down in the middle of the ice, and you're allowed to be hit, man. So
Keep your head
really
up,
rough.
kid. Yep, and that
Yeah.
sucks. And Zach Whitecloud is huge, and yeah, like if you're gonna be bent over, you're gonna get like he could have hit him with the elbow. He did keep his elbow tucked.
He tucked it.
And
Yeah.
do you think he left his feet? Because when I watch that over and over and over again, all I can picture is a car running into a wall. Well, when a car runs into a wall, it's gonna get some hang time too, and that's just how physics work. The car didn't jump into the wall. It just hit a brick wall called Matthew Nyes, and it slowed his momentum enough to push him backing up a little bit. That was my opinion. That was what I seen on that play. Looked like a really hard legal check. Poor Nyes.
I mean, Whitecloud, there's no question to me of whether he's trying to hit up on the play. And that's just how you lay the biggest hit possible. I do think after watching it 125 times that there is definitely a bit of a left foot on the ice still. Whether like both feet are or not, it's also so close. And like you said, you just make an impact like that, and you're both gonna kind of explode off of it. So, it took 24 hours and watching it 50 times to really get an understanding of what the rule actually is. But after, seeing the proof and being laid out by the NHL, it's pretty clear. And, it's just unfortunate at this point.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, we don't have all those angles. So when you do get to see those angles and they do get to make those points, it does make more sense. And you know what? Good on the NHL.
Oh, they did something great for once. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
for once. Yeah.
Actually, and I will say they put out one video 5 years ago about this rule, but it just has to be more often because people forget about it. That it kind of gets lost in the media space. So they just need to keep putting these things out. So good to see for sure.
It was definitely. So one name I heard way too many times tonight is Alex Kerfoot. Kerfoot, is he good? Still good again? Better? Or does he just read these guys like a book and know how to get in everybody's way and touch the puck? Is that maybe a Toronto announcer bias why we heard his name so much? But I heard that guy's name a lot. Every single time the Leafs tried to get something going, it's like, I know what you're trying to do. And he would run in and shut them down. And he'd get off the ice and they get a chance to make their way up the ice.
Yeah, I mean, he's just still kind of a Swiss Army knife type of a player, I think. And yeah, he chips in, and I always liked him on the team. It was just that he wasn't worth what he was making. And in Utah, they're not really too worried about, salary at this point. They're not maxing out to try and go for it. So I think that they're he's still a great player. He was before. I never didn't like him. So yeah, it is kind of funny though. I do think that the announcers are a little bit biased and they, yell him out. It's just like Logan Cooley gets shouted more too. It's just because he's a young star budding in the game and they know his name and, they want to say it so much. So, yeah.
And I wondered if that was part of it, but it's like every single time that the Leafs were trying to do a breakout especially on the penalty kill. He was a killer on the penalty kill for them tonight. Like every time the Leafs tried to get in the zone on zone entries, which they struggle with on their own, doesn't matter who's against it, but it was always Kerfoot in there fucking shit up on them. And I was like, this guy, he knows this drop back shit. He's like, yeah, I'm taking this from you. I know what you'd probably try and do next.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that play. And actually, Mitch Marner made a couple nice entries tonight that were a little bit different and shaken up. One cutting across the ice. And I think that he's the difference maker too on when the power play has been better. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So what else do we got for this game? I got a stat here. Maple Leafs through 20 games. Bear with me here. Goals against. Maple Leafs through 20 games. This is Keefe versus Berube. Last year versus this year.
Yep.
Okay. So this time last year versus this time this year. Goals against last year, they were 21st. This year, they're 6th. Expected goals against last year, they were 23rd. This year, they're 9th. Inner slot shots against last year, they were 13th. This year, they're 4th. Slot passes against. Last year, they were 13th. This year, they're 5th.
Can I ask quickly, are you talking this season, last season at this point in the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, through 20 games.
Just wanted to clarify. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, through 20 games. This time last year, They were 16th at rebound chances against. This year, they're 6th. You're seeing a trend, right? High danger chances against, 19th. This year, they're 4th. So every area seems to be improved, and that's showing up by the wins. Now, we were like not sure about this team at the beginning of the year. How the hell did we get here? Just a few good games, a good run, and all of a sudden they're number one in the Atlantic and the best team in the league. And it seems to be like, well, I mean, obviously not the best team in the league, but they're pushing out to be a much better product. Are you starting to believe in the Craig Berube way and think that they're starting to believe?
Yeah, I think I always believed in the Craig Berube way. It was just whether we had the right, pieces to make it work. Because 2 or 3 weeks ago, our opinion was that we liked what they were trying to do. They just weren't executing it properly. And it just seems like they're coming around and being able to do it. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with Matthews being out. And, they all feel like they need to chip in a little bit more. And that just, is a good way of playing this style, is just a lot of effort, And I do like a lot of things about it. I like the early breakout from the wing. I like the more of a protection, but it's kind of when a game isn't going your way, they're definitely really boring games, and that's the one negative of this style, because they're just going to the net, and if things aren't going their way, then it's just a lot of boring and things aren't working, just basically giving the puck to the other team. So, but once you figured out the forecheck part of it and you're getting better at it, it's just, this is what's going to be better moving forward. And I wonder too, if, I know you don't have the stats there, I'm sure, but what are the offensive chances on the other end? And I think that they're probably either similar or about the same. It's just the zone time control is definitely way down from last year. Just
way different.
Nobody cares about it now. Or at least, sorry, our coaches don't care about it, so the players aren't doing it. And it's just, how do we get the quickest chance to the net?
Yeah, if you're not attacking, then there's no point in you having the puck, is basically the point, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're not trying to set up a play or,
which doesn't that make
making
sense?
a play. Yeah, no, and it makes a whole lot of sense. But I also wonder, though, I was going to bring up, those are all defensive stats. Now, how much is that because we now have Chris Tanev and a competent OEL, and Benoit's playing well, and Timmins is showing, and is it the players? Is it more Brad Treliving building this back end, or is it Berube's systems that's bringing this all together?
I did a huge part of it is the personnel. The top four has just been amazing this year, and just nothing that we've seen in 20 to 30 years. It's crazy. So, the bottom two pairings, they've just definitely been a work in progress. And it was brought up to my attention tonight that, Hakanpää now has not played 2 games in a row, and after, being inserted in the lineup. So, yeah, it might be a rotation, or maybe there's a setback there or something. But, even the third pairing hasn't been too bad. I'm coming around on Timmins. Benoit's played his last 2 games have been his best games. So, yeah, I think that's a huge part. There's no doubt. The defense are just better, way better.
Just better.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what else you got to talk about this game here, CP?
I don't know. I think I'm about it. I mean, the one thing is, you see that we were talking so much about sharing, the goal tonight, or sorry, in general this year, and a lot of the NHL is, and Utah just is not a team that does that. That's Vejmelka's 6th game in a row, and they just played back to back, and he played both of them, and he still came out and played really well. So. It's funny, you see these few workhorses in the league, and some team, if Utah wanted to cash in on some, prospects or even some players, that's a guy that you could trade for a heap. I know a lot of people don't really know about him, but he's been performing pretty amazing for the last few years now.
And if you heard on the broadcast, if you were paying attention, or if you already knew, Vejmelka gets absolutely no goal support. So, he has pretty decent numbers. He's actually a good goalie, but they don't score any more than, 2 goals a game, max, against the teams when they play. I think against the stretch 10, 15 games they must have had up, or more. They had 1 game with 4 goals. Everything else was 2. Wow. There was 4 shutouts in that time. They got shut out 4 times in that time. Yeah. Vejmelka gets absolutely no support over there. It was Arizona. It's now Utah. We'll see if the owners in Utah decide to actually build a team. It is their first year. But, it would be nice to see a different franchise become, maybe not so good like Vegas and win the cup or anything.
Yeah,
like,
no.
screw off, but at least fringe in and let's switch it up. We
Don't
want
be
to see
embarrassing.
we want to see Minnesota not get knocked out in the first round anymore. Just like same thing as over here. Like be the same thing as talking about the Leafs. It's nice to have Eastern teams flip flop in and people to get good because it kind of gets stale to be the same old thing.
Yeah, definitely. I have one more Leafs thing too from just like the last few nights, and it's a point that Berube really likes Fraser Minton. He is putting him in really good spots, playing him up the lineup on the power play. And I've really liked him too. He's way bigger than he was last year. That guy's really grown. He's like grown a couple inches and put on weight. So it's pretty I don't want to say that he's definitely the third line center going forward, but the prospect of him being the future of third line center is getting stronger and stronger. I've really liked what I've seen just as a experiment, and you definitely want to see him go back to the AHL and marinate more. We didn't even want to see him this quick, but it's a little sneak peek, and he is a responsible player. He's got a little he's already scored, but I really like what I see him, even though it's not like jump off the page and crazy, but yeah, Berube definitely loves him.
Did he not get an assist tonight? Omar posted tonight that he's a point per game player so far. So how can you not like that? But I wouldn't put that on his shoulders as a third line center yet. Like he's really young. It's really early. You can see the prospect of it. But you can see the prospect of it maybe next year. Yeah. Maybe next year. Yes, I missed that. I did write that down. Minton on the top power play unit. He did miss a tap in tonight, and I wonder if that's a little bit of nerves, not ready, not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's the chemistry. He's just not kind of used to playing with these guys yet, and to be ready at all moments because those passes are going to come across when he least expect it for a backdoor tap in, and it just went whoosh between his legs, and before you know it, he was bending over looking between his legs for it.
Justin, my Steve thoughts are I don't really have any. He's still the same guy. It's just kind of vanilla, and he's a guy. I don't know. Not a lot. I just he fills in. That's kind of how I
like
feel
him.
about
him. I don't hate him. I don't think he's a bad player, but he really doesn't do anything for me.
It's just a guy. You notice all these other guys like Lorentz and Gerbankin, and even Alex Nylander jumps at you a couple times, but Steve's is just kind of he just is a guy. I don't know. Maybe that's harsh, but it is my opinion.
But I mean, that's good. Prototypical fourth liner fill in.
A guy that jumps between the AHL and NHL, it's totally cool. Especially if you don't want to push someone up. Next time, if you send Minton back down, you keep Gerbankin maybe up here, and then next time you don't want to bring Minton back, then you can bring Steve's up. It's totally fine. He's just a guy that you can replay. You don't have to bring up one of your prospects you want to leave down. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, shall we get
here? I got a quick question. I didn't catch the broadcast, but how were the announcers referring to Utah? When they'd say, it goes down into the Utah zone or Utah's just moving. Just Utah?
Just
okay, because I've been loving the altitude announcers keep saying, Hockey Club moves it up, and they just put no effort into making their name sound cool, because guess who else gave no effort into making their name sound cool? That fucking shitty team. They made their bed, make them lay in it. Hockey Club moves the puck up. Hockey Club lost.
They definitely poked fun at it tonight. They definitely they haven't picked anything yet. What do you call them? And but yeah, they called them Utah. Utah this, Utah that. I mean, I guess Hockey Club, that seems like an inside joke. That's
I think it is. I think it is. I think the boys all said that. They all say it. Mosier, Riker, McGahee, they all Hockey Club. And it's really good. Because I mean, hey, other teams,
Yeti though. That's apparently what they're going to be is the Utah Yeti. I don't really like
really?
that.
Is that happening?
That's what I've heard a couple times.
Oh,
yeah.
I wouldn't hate that.
Actually, it's Colorado, I think, that's holding it up because
good, because that was our old mascot was the Yeti, and that's why they had the foot on the
I think that's why they didn't go with it.
For Adam Foot.
Yeah,
specifically for Adam Foot. We were like, man, we love you so much, Adam. We're gonna put a thing right on the fucking everyone's shoulder. Everyone's shoulder gets it, both shoulders.
That's so funny. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I've heard a couple times. It's supposed to be Yeti, but that's what was voted the highest when they took the poll. as far as the mascots were. But yeah, everyone.
They certainly took the poll.
Yeah, I would. God.
Okay, and with that,
let's get out of
that's a wrap. You're killing me.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. That's Split the Defense, Leafs post game presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving Kingston and the surrounding area since 2004. Leave us a comment if you haven't already. We will still answer you. Hit that like button on your way out of here. Subscribe on YouTube and listen to us in podcast form anywhere you listen to podcasts. Until next time, peace.
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 Follow the boys on Twitter at STDPWebby, at Craig D. Pearce, and at Ted_is_show.